What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Atlantic Files, the number one podcast on the number one division in the NBA, brought to you by the Underdog Sports Podcast Network. As always, joined by your hosts, myself, Alex Fishbein, and I got Dennis Big Sexy Clausen. What's going on, Dennis?
Thank God. I couldn't. It was kind of sad watching you fly solo last week.
I was sad. I was like, I'm just talking to the wall here.
I mean, not that I add anything.
You add a whole lot. You add Big Sexy. That's what you add.
But I'm a little annoyed because folks, we apologize, but we were supposed to get on 15 minutes earlier, and your boy, not me, this guy next to me had to finish eating. And I'm hungry too, mind you, which is no surprise, but I'm hungry. So I had, you know what I've been eating lately that I really, really like? Like I can't get enough of it is cheese and crackers.
Oh, yeah.
So I got a couple cheese and crackers, but the worst part of cheese and crackers, so if you see me like licking my teeth, that's because you get cracker residue trapped.
Yep. I'm not gonna lie. If I go to a party and there's a charcuterie board, I'm eating
a what?
A charcuterie board, a charcuterie board.
I've heard of charcuterie board. I've never heard of a charcuterie board.
That's what
coochie. But
that's what the new street name for charcuterie
is. Charcuterie.
Yeah.
You sure that's not the new name for like some fentanyl based product?
I hope not. Otherwise, I've been doing it all wrong.
Right. Next thing you know, your eyes are rolling in the back of your head.
Exactly. But when there's a charcuterie at a party, I'm eating the crackers and the cheese and the salami and the pepperoni and all that. I'm eating the whole thing.
Oh, I'm deep throating that pepperoni like I'm fucking Jenna Jameson.
Oh, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
or Lana Rhodes.
Cracker.
I'll be more current for the kids. I'm deep throating it like Lana Rhodes, but when that pepperoni comes out, just something hits you. Like you got to get that all in. I got tears rolling down my eyes because I'm fucking gagging. Yeah, we're here.
I didn't know you were gonna go this deep into this.
2 minutes
analogy here.
Got my fake eyelash in the middle of my forehead.
Speaking of getting fucked, how was your fantasy football week?
Horrible.
Oh my god.
Hey, great job. Hey, we can incorporate a little fantasy football into this if you want.
Oh yeah, of course.
You want to throw the thing up there?
Sure. Let me throw it on up there.
So we can make it official. Just a week one shit show. That it was.
There we go.
There we go. Now we're more than just a hoops podcast now, apparently.
Exactly.
So yeah, if you got fucked in the ass in week one, don't worry about it. I'm right there with you. Travis Kelce was hurt, didn't play, which was weird. Even though he's a boner, but he's still good at football. So he's, I took him in about half of my leagues. I'm probably in about 10 leagues this year with everybody putting, and that's still a reduction on what I was doing. But Travis Kelce, J.K. Dobbins, that guy can't, for crying out loud, that guy's going to miss another season after tearing his Achilles. And then, of course, we all saw Monday night what happened to Aaron Rodgers. And so 4 plays and his season is over.
I do feel bad for the Jets because they actually had some excitement for a fun season. And now it's back to the drawing board.
Not for nothing though, that they still look pretty fucking good.
The defense looked good. Amazing.
Whitehead there, 3 interceptions, and then Breece Hall just looked like a. See what happens when you're 18 years old? You can literally tear your ligaments and muscles, and you're just. It was like the guy never was hurt.
Oh no, it's completely different when you tear a major ligament when you're 40.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that guy's got it made. He's millions of dollars for guys back to 100%. It looks like fucking yeah. Good for him though. And the Jet, like I'm not ruling the Jets out yet.
No, I mean, I'm not ruling them out yet. I just think their ceiling is definitely lower without Aaron Rodgers, but um,
Hey,
I'm not ruling them completely out yet.
stranger things have happened.
That's true. I
But
will
who are?
say I had Brees Hall on my bench though because
So
I
did I and
started.
everybody else.
Yeah, because I started Cam Akers, and that fucked me.
Right.
And
Well,
then
like not in a good way either.
exactly,
Like it
and
hurt.
your boys fucked me the most. I had
I know.
I
Yeah,
had a
honey.
Burrow and T Higgins stack in one league. I had T Higgins and Drake London in another league,
0 receptions on 8 targets for T. Higgins.
which was insane to like. At least Drake London, he only had one target, so it was like I understand not getting a catch if you've only been targeted once. But Higgins was targeted 8 times, and I will say I did see some of the game, and some of those targets were bullshit. Like that was like there was one that was like 10 yards away from Higgins, and they called it a target to Higgins, which like that's kind of bullshit.
I mean,
But
it should be a target for him.
true. But them getting zero, I had Dallas Goddard in another league, also zero. But somehow the one league that I won last week was the one that I had Drake London and T. Higgins. And it's because I had Tua and the Cowboys defense.
Yeah, the Cowboys defense won a lot of people. Basically, won the week for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just one of those weeks, though, where the Cowboys defense plays well, and anybody who was going up against like a Tyreek Hill or Tua or Brandon Ayuk, those you were gonna. Oh, here we go. You were gonna suffer certainly. So, but that's okay. It's only week one. We still have plenty of season left, even though relish it, which makes me want a hot dog now, but relish it because it goes quick, and then you're like, we're at week 9 already. So then, but it's a great time of the year. Training camp, basketball training camp is just around the corner. So this is a great time of year. But
Oh, yeah.
who the fuck would have ever thought going into week one, like everybody was like Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, like nope. Our top quarterbacks of the week, Tua, which isn't a huge surprise because Tua is actually a talented player. He just can't stay healthy,
Right.
which I say that pretty much about everybody. But then our Matt Jones, Jordan Love, and Anthony Richardson were your 2, 3, and 4 top ranked fantasy quarterbacks, outscoring guys like Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Justin Herbert, certainly Joe Burrow. So it was definitely a weird week, especially too
Jalen
when you
Hurts wasn't even good.
Jalen Hurts struggled, but then you look at other guys who were producing. Kendrick Bourne, who got a little bit of extra action, thank because no Devontae Parker, that certainly won't keep up, and Romeo Dobbs was productive. We'll see how that keeps up once Christian Watson comes back in the fold. But Puka Nakua from the Rams,
Yep.
certainly a popular waiver wire target this week. Rashid Shaheed from the New Orleans Saints, certainly. But the guy I think, though, is going to benefit the most, and I know I'm bouncing around all over the place, but I finally think Justice Hill is going to get. It's
Yeah.
going to be his time to shine in Baltimore. The guy literally has been a backup pretty much his entire career, and I think he's finally won the favor to the point where he's going to start getting way more action than Gus Edwards is.
Yeah, Gus Edwards really hasn't looked the same ever since he went down last season with his injury, or 2 seasons ago was it? Um, and Justice Hill has always been the better of the backs on the team in terms of the passing game. Like Kenyon Drake was probably a little bit better when he was on the team, but a lot of the time when you compared Hill to Dobbins and Edwards, it always seemed like Hill was the better pass catcher. So now you have him in there as essentially he's listed as the number 2 back, but I think I agree with you. I think he's going to get most of the work. And then
Did I say Justice Winslow?
no, you said Hill.
Because I wouldn't be surprised if I did say Winslow.
I mean, we do talk a lot of basketball. So.
Yeah, so.
But no, I agree. And then on top of that, Keaton Mitchell could be someone to look at once he comes back. I could see him
Yeah,
getting
probably not.
some work in there. Well, for the really deep leagues, not for like your casual 10.
Like balls deep.
Yeah, like our 30-team league.
Right. Yeah, at that point, yeah, you'll take anybody.
Which
yeah,
that 30-team league was depressing because my matchup that week came down to I had Gabe Davis and he had Damian Harris, and Gabe got like 4 points and Harris got like 2 points.
I mean, you got to that league is tough.
Oh yeah, for sure. But anyway, you're gonna say?
I don't even know what I was going to say.
But
you could get a shot for allergies, you know.
No, I know. It's right now. It's just because so yesterday, today, and tomorrow at work we have all of our like higher up people here from like our Canada office and our Carolina office and everywhere. So I've just been cooped up in meeting rooms and I've just been like dried out. So I've been trying to chug water to just get it all out.
See what happens when the Canadians come in? They ruin everything.
Exactly. Bring all the cold weather with them and everything.
Yeah. It's like at least bring some poutine down or whatever the fuck that's called.
Exactly. They did bring these cookies that were like in the shape of maple leaves and it had like icing in the middle. Okay. And it was like sweetened with ice wine. It was pretty good. Pretty good.
Sounds way more than I would need.
I mean, as a cookie connoisseur myself, I thought they were pretty good.
I didn't have one cookie at your wedding, FYI.
I don't know how. Well, I know you had the other desserts, but...
Oh, trust me, I made up for it. I didn't have one alcoholic beverage, but I certainly made up for it with the dessert.
There you go.
I mean, I was like double fisted. Like carrot cake, a red velvet cake. Like and I made 2 trips, and I was like hoping I didn't see the same person twice.
Right.
Because they'd be like, look at that fat fuck. He's back up at the dessert bar. But at that point, I don't think anybody cared because probably 3/4 of people were drunk.
True. But also, if you saw them twice, that means they're getting it twice, too.
Yeah, but it's different when a fat guy is getting dessert on multiple things because then they're like, no wonder why this guy's fat. He's just eating all the cake and stuff. It's like when I go to McDonald's, I have to pretend that... like I'm ordering extra for somebody. And like I pull up to the window and they'll be like, yeah, there's so much back in McDonald's. And I'll be like, well, I know I'll have a number 1, but then I think she may want a McChicken. And you know what I mean? Like, so I just gotta like make it appear that I am not ordering multiple sandwiches for myself, even though I am, and they probably know that. So I'm not fooling anybody because when I drive off, they're like, look at Fatso. He's eating all those sandwiches. Like, there's no way in hell that, you know. So I did go to Chick-fil-A last night, though.
Oh, I just went today.
Yeah, I think Chick-fil-A is so overrated, but the only reason I went is because usually Chick-fil-A, the line is so long.
Yes.
Like, it's so long, they have 2 lanes. Like not just like McDonald's where you turn the corner and it goes to 2 lanes. This is like a legit 2 lanes.
Oh yeah, almost. And the thing is, I remember when Chick-fil-A really wasn't all that packed, and like that's when I really started to love Chick-fil-A the most. Was like when you could actually go in and just order wherever you wanted to order and in the drive-thru and everything. Because then I thought it was like a great value and great price for what you got. But now having to wait an hour just to get it, yeah, now I think it's starting to get overrated because it's not worth waiting that long.
Well, the other reason I went though is because for one, I was trying to like pretend like I was going to eat healthy, even though I got a shake. But I was like, okay, I get the grilled nuggets, even though they're probably horrible. But mentally, I'm like, okay, at least you know. So I went that route. But honestly, like I'm a McDonald's or a Burger King guy, and I also hate too. Like I hate going to these places and they're like, "Can I have your name, please?" It's like, why do you need to know my name? So
Just
is
give
it
me a
that?
number.
Give me a number. You don't need to know my name. Like, why you need to know my name? Is it? And then they start calling you your name. Like, so I have like some 18-year-old kid. Like, okay, thank you, Dennis. And it's like, I'm not trying to be like an old guy, but you're like in high school still, and I'm 40 and I have a mortgage, and you're calling me like we're pals. And I want nothing to do with you, kid. The only reason I'm interacting with you is because you're swiping my card.
Exactly.
After this, there's not going to be no Dennis and
I'm not
Caleb.
seeing you ever again.
There's not going to be Dennis and Caleb relationship anymore. Like we're not hanging out. Like forget my name. I don't, and I want my chicken sandwich.
Exactly.
And I got this caramel crumble vanilla shake, which sounded good. And I'm all on board with caramel, but it just wasn't doing it for me. It's very caramely, very sweet.
Mm. It's always disappointing when the name sounds amazing and then you
Oh
get it. It's
yeah,
kind of like it's just not as amazing as I imagined it to be.
and it's disappointing because I love shakes.
Oh,
I
shakes are
love,
great.
I love shakes. And honestly, the best shakes that you're going to get at this point in time is actually Arby's has the best shakes.
Okay. I do like Sonic shakes. They are pretty good.
See, anytime I go to Sonic, I'm getting ices, like the slushies. So my daughter and I will go and get some slushies.
That makes
But
sense. Those are good
but
too.
but Sonic is another place that makes way too. I miss the old school. You go to the drive-through. Nobody gives a fuck what your name is. They don't want to upsell you. They don't want to do any of this bullshit. They don't want you to give $1 to Ronald McDonald House. Like they don't do any of that. I just miss just let's just let me get my order in. I'm here for one fucking reason, and that's just to get a Big Mac, some fries, maybe a couple McChickens, and a large vanilla shake. I don't. I don't want you to ask me if I want a bigger size because I'll make that decision on my own.
Yep.
This is America. I'm quite capable of telling you I want more, which because I usually do anyways. And I don't want you asking me to donate to Ronald McDonald House because then you're going to make me feel guilty.
Exactly. I just want my food and I just want it fast.
Right.
That's why you are fast food. That's all I want.
Right. I don't care. I'm not introducing myself to you. Like and don't ask me about Ronald McDonald House because then I start thinking about sick kids and then it makes me sad.
Exactly. I don't want to know about it. It's like um the dog commercials with Sarah McLachlan. I don't want to see that cuz it's going to make me sad.
Yeah, the dogs I'm okay with. It's when they start rolling out the St. Jude commercial.
Oh, those I mean, they're all bad.
Right.
I
But
hate all of it.
there's this
Tyler's in the house. He
Hey
says, "Oh my
Tyler.
god, Dennis."
There's this kid though.
Sorry, and he also said Embiid's anger translator. Yes, I am Embiid's anger translator from now on.
Tyler, oh my god though.
I will say anything that Embiid cannot say.
It's nice to see Tyler back. We were worried about you.
I know. He popped up last week, and I was like, wait, Tyler's back.
Mm.
But yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, there's this one kid though with a blanket. He tries to say, "Donate to St. Jude's, and I'll give you a blanket." And this kid's the most annoying fucking kid. Like I wait for him to die every time, but he never does because he's so annoying. And I don't even think he's a kid, and I don't even think he has a disability. I just think they put him on there to make it seem like I don't want a blanket. I want this commercial not to come on. I don't want your blanket.
I wouldn't put it past people that make the commercials to put someone out there that doesn't actually have what the commercial's for.
Well, this is it.
I wouldn't put it past them. And Tyler says, damn.
I know. How dare you accuse them of putting... I don't know. I don't want the blanket. Anyway. In fact, I don't want the commercial on the TV. I don't want smoke. I don't want to see Terry with the hole in her throat from smoking. That's her problem, not mine.
Oh,
yeah. Agreed. And it's yeah. Okay. Enough.
Let's move on.
Yeah, because I could go on all day about this. You can see I'm very passionate about.
Oh, of course. Let's finally get on to some basketball. So, let's start off with...
But if we talk about Kyrie Irving, then I want to start talking about St. Jude's again. Because I actually like sick kids better than I want to talk about fucking Kyrie Irving.
Well, we actually, for once, do not have anything about Kyrie Irving, so we're good. Last week, Team USA.
Oh, God.
Fails to medal at the World Cup yet again. Did you see, kind of like a reference that goes along with this? Did you see the track athlete that talked about, like, why does the NBA have world champions?
Don't fucking do this because I don't get me... I know, and I don't mean to yell at you, but I'm sorry that... yes, I saw this, and I'm gonna yell now because I'm very annoyed at this.
Well, I'm gonna play it for the people who might not have seen it. So, for the context, this is Noah Lyles, U.S. track athlete, who
I don't even know who he is. So who cares?
Who was at the World Championships for track, and he had this to say.
Good.
After I think it was after an event, but he had this to say.
You know, the thing that hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA Finals, and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world.
He's got the biggest teeth I've ever seen out of a human being in my entire life.
He actually does. I agree.
That's not me. I'm not being racist. I'm just saying he's got big teeth.
No, I know. He has a giant mouth. But so most people have seen that by now. This was a few weeks ago that he said this. NBA players up in arms about it, rightfully so. And this kind of became like almost like the thing, like the battle cry for all the other countries against the United States when it came to the World Cup. And it's crazy to me because he was like, the fact that he said that about the NBA, the NBA hasn't called the champion world champions in, I think it was like since 2016 or something. So they've gotten rid of world champion verbiage on their stuff, first off. Second off, he says this as if like that changes his status. Where it's like track athletes that compete against the world and world champions, like, yeah, we don't take that away from you. If you win the national championship, it like we would probably call you world champion because that's just what America does. Is some of that ignorant? Yeah, probably. But like that has nothing to do with him. And on top of that, it's not like the U.S. track has a league where they bring in people from all over the world.
I can't.
And Tyler here says, I hate the way he said that.
Thank you, Tyler. He's an idiot. Do you want me to? I had to stop.
No, go for it.
For one, nobody cares about track. Nobody wants to watch anybody run, and nobody even wants to think about running because running is awful. Two, give me top four or five players in the NBA. Go ahead.
They're all international. It's Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, Doncic.
Did you say Giannis?
Yeah.
Where do they play?
They play in the NBA.
Oh, okay. So where are all the best players in the world playing?
The NBA.
Right. So when you have the best players in the NBA playing and whatever team wins, don't you think they're the best fucking team in the world? Can we stop with this world? For one, Germany put out their best squad. Right? Germany put out and for one, for USA to lose to any of these teams is a fucking embarrassing. All right, who cares about FIBA World Cup? But that's embarrassing. Like if you're going to enter, play to win. All right, but two, USA didn't even send the best that we had to offer.
No.
Now you're starting to hear things. Devin Booker wants to play. You're hearing LeBron's fucking starting to recruit his homies. All right, if you beat that group, if you beat a Durant, a LeBron, a Booker, if you beat that group of players, okay, then you got something. But for one, you're not going to. Exactly. All right, you beat a team, and I love Josh Hart, but you beat a guy. You got Josh Hart on the team. You got Bobby Portis on the. That's not our best players.
Walker Kessler.
Walker Kessler's all right, but they're not our best players.
But he's a rookie, like.
Right. And I don't want to hear anybody say, well, France is going to have Victor Wembanyama. Who cares? All right. As good as he is, you're not going to beat a Durant. You're not going to beat a team with LeBron, Devin Booker, Tatum, Cat. You're not going to beat, maybe get Lillard in there. You're not going to beat a team with those guys on there.
Well, and also, France had most of their team for the World Cup, and they didn't even make the playoff stages.
Right.
They lost their first two games to Latvia, who didn't have Kristaps Porzingis. And then they lost to Canada, who, rightfully so, Canada had a really good team out there.
But for even Canada not to win.
True.
Canada's team was just as nearly as good.
And did you see that the all-tournament team was all NBA players?
It's weird.
It was Schroeder, Anthony Edwards, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I think Franz Wagner might have been on there, and then there was one other one. I forget.
But even Wagner missed a couple days with games with an ankle injury.
Exactly.
And so you're telling me, for one, you Team USA got beat by Dennis Schroeder?
True.
Dennis Schroeder. Like, I mean, let's put that in the context here. Is he an awful player? No. Is he the Atlanta Hawks version? Absolutely not. Maybe that guy I would meet you somewhere. I would even give you the first stint Dennis Schroeder with the Lakers. That version. The guy who was supposedly going to get like $100 million.
Exactly.
And then he said he never was going to get it, but that's only because he didn't want to look stupid for turning down all that money.
And I just want to say, the last 3 World Cups, the all-tournament team included 5 NBA players. It wasn't Franz Wagner, it was Schroeder, Gilgeous-Alexander, Edwards, Bogdan Bogdanovic, and Luka Doncic.
Same fucking guy. Bogdanovic and just one's older.
Right. And then, but the last World Cup in 2019, it was Ricky Rubio, Bogdanovic again, Luis Scola, Evan Fournier, Marc Gasol.
Oh, that's a rebounder right there, Luis Scola.
I know, he was a great.
You ain't getting no rebounds with that guy on.
And then the World Cup before that, ironically enough, Kyrie Irving, Milos Teodosic, Nicholas Batum, Kenneth Faried, and Pau Gasol. That's 3 World Cups in a row where all 5 people in the all-tournament team play in the NBA.
And just because now big teeth guy starts saying stuff, and all of a sudden now everybody. I wanted to just punch my TV. I could not stand, and the fact that this is not going to end, because now there's going to be other places where they're going to say world champs and goes, no, it's not the world champs. Shut up, because everybody wants to play in that league. That's a premier league in the world. The NBA is the best of the best go to the NBA.
Exactly.
If you play college basketball, right, for a D1 school, you're a good, really, really, really good NBA or a really good basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
If you sit the bench, if you're the 15th guy in an NBA team, you're a fucking great player.
Yep.
And you're a great player. You might not even play, but you're still better than 99.999% of the people on the planet. Now, if you're an elite like a LeBron, you're at a god level when it comes to basketball. So let's not get things confused here, people. The best players in the world are playing in the NBA.
Exactly. And I mean,
Does got good teeth though. He's got good teeth.
True. And I mean, also Noah Lyles is a fucking amazing track athlete.
I don't know.
It doesn't like
we're
not taking away. We're not taking anything away from him athletically.
He's stupid for saying such a thing.
Well, yeah,
Stop being so nice about it. He's, hey, I'm not. I'm giving him a. No, if you're gonna say something stupid, then
the other thing. Look, I love the U.S. at times, and I was like, why do you qualify how much you love your country, and also say that you hate that the NBA has world champions on their head, but like. There just seemed to be a disconnect in his own statement where it's like, are you pro-USA or are you not pro-USA? Because, like, I don't understand, like, what's going on here. Like, he specifically said that he only loves his country at times.
Let me tell you something, all right? USA, by far, is the best fucking country on the planet, okay? Yeah, and it's not me being like some white supremacist, because I'm certainly not that. But if you are still having that stance, like especially too, like even a couple days after 9/11, when I saw Queen Latifah on Sunday Night Football singing the national anthem, or did she do Star Spangled Banner? Or are they the same thing? Yeah.
Same thing. Anyway. We're trying to be pro-American. We're supposed to know what it is.
Yes. Anyways, when she was singing that, the goosebumps, man. And when you look at the videos from the other day of Ground Zero and all the people that are just begging to come to this country, people are dying to come to this country, and you say I love America at times. But hey, you want to? There's about 6 billion people in the world who would, at least, who would love to trade with you.
Oh yeah,
that are risking their lives to come to this country. They're crossing snake-infested rivers and crocodiles, and there are people been floated over on a tire to get to America. And you're saying I love this country at times? You might not agree with some of the people in the country, but you better damn sure fucking love where you're at, because you're not going to get any better than America. Just because some of the politicians are buffoons, don't get that mixed in with where you're at, because this is the best country in the planet.
Yeah, I mean,
where else can you drink a Coke Zero? There's people on the planet who don't even get running water. They gotta walk 6 miles to get fresh water. I'm sitting here filling my fat face with a Coke Zero.
It's just the thing to me is just like,
we have Pornhub in America. You could tell I was off last week, and I don't really want that kid to die with the blanket, by the way.
No, I know.
I just want him to stop getting on my TV.
Exactly.
And I want Noah Lyles no relation to Trey, to stop saying stupid shit. Go ahead.
It's just like what was he trying to accomplish? Is all I was wondering in that moment. It's like why there was no question about the NBA from at least from what I know. I didn't see any context in there that like asked him about the NFL or the NBA or whatever it may be. Like, so I just don't understand what he exactly was trying to get at.
I'll tell you exactly.
Tyler says track is fun, Dennis.
Maybe for some. That's certainly not for me. But I'll tell you, maybe beforehand you know who Noah Lyles was. Maybe you did, right?
Barely.
I never heard of this guy until... I didn't even know that's who said it until you just played the clip.
Oh,
so mission accomplished.
Yeah. I just think...
Mission accomplished.
I just think the whole thing... To me, the whole thing was dumb because you kind of turned everybody against the U.S. in the middle of the U.S. competing against other countries.
He should take that shirt off.
It was just... It was weird to me.
He should not be wearing that USA shirt.
Yeah, I don't get it. Let's move on. Let's move on to someone else who's dumb. Kevin Porter Jr.
What a moron.
Now, for those who don't know, let me
God.
play this clip here. I
love all the clips tonight.
Yeah, getting prepared for everything. You know what I mean? We gotta be on top of things. So here's the context behind Kevin Porter Jr.
I try to be on bottom of things. You know what I mean?
Houston Rockets guard Kevin Porter Jr. was arrested and charged with assault and strangulation after allegedly assaulting his girlfriend at a New York hotel on Monday morning. That's according to a New York City police spokesperson. And at Porter's arraignment today, prosecutors, they said the attack left a woman with a fractured neck vertebrae. So, Woj, how are the NBA and how is the Houston Rockets approaching this?
Yeah, the league's launched an investigation, Malika, and they'll handle it in the near term. I think the Houston Rockets, and just by the bylaws, they can't suspend him. They can't waive him while this investigation's going on. But Adam Silver could put Kevin Porter Jr. on administrative leave. But certainly, I think his future in Houston is very much in jeopardy. I think his future in the end.
So sexy. And she's not bad either. I was talking about Woj.
Oh, you're talking about Woj? Okay.
Yeah, he's looking good.
How old is Woj?
I don't know.
Now I gotta see. Now I'm curious. How? Because I feel like he's been on.
He might be nearing Medicare age.
He's 54.
Yeah, and I mean he's all right.
He looks good for his 50s.
Yeah.
Anyway,
she looks better, of course.
Of course.
Is this guy stupid though?
Yes, very. Tyler says throw him under the jail. I mean,
I agree.
They allegedly, we have to lead everything with allegedly.
Everything allegedly.
Allegedly. He fractured his girlfriend's vertebrae. And I just want to say, there has now been, like, why don't the rest of the athletes that do this to their girlfriend, wife, whatever, get the same treatment as, say, a Ray Rice? Because, like, literally the only difference is video evidence. That they played the video on the news and people were in an outrage. However, what Kevin Porter Jr. allegedly did is a lot worse. He sent this poor woman to the hospital because of a fractured vertebrae and strangled her. That's just fucking insane.
There's been times I want to strangle my wife, but I've never done it. That's the difference between a moron and somebody who's actually, a decent human being. If he did this, if it's more than just allegations, he's a piece of shit. He should never be allowed back in the NBA. Same thing for Miles Bridges.
Yeah.
That scumbag should have been gone. If that, I don't know the full context of what exactly happened after the case, but if he did that, all that they were saying he did, like Miles Bridges and Kevin Porter, those two scumbags should be gone. All right, and Lynn, let's be clear here that this woman, I believe, was a WNBA player.
Yep.
So she's athletic, all right, and she's not frail. So she probably has some muscle mass to cover up a lot of that vertebrae, a lot of her spine. It's not like she's some skinny. She's kind of thick too, if I recall correctly, based on the pic. So, like, he had to have been dropping elbows or something on her to get in, and then he strangle her. For one, nobody should be assaulting each other unless it's mutual combat. If you want to throw it out in a bar because somebody's talking shit and the other person wants to throw it out, have at it. I'm a big advocate of physical violence settling differences. It's been done for years, as long as you have mutual combatants. But if you have some scumbag overpowering somebody, that's a woman, yeah, he's a piece of shit if he did that.
And on top of that, like you said, if she's in the WNBA, that affects her career. I mean, it's going to affect anybody's career, but especially if you're in an athletic career and you fracture a fucking vertebrae.
Right.
I don't know what team she's on. I forget. But, like, WNBA is heading into the playoffs right now. If she was on a playoff team, that fucks a lot of people over.
And honestly, if I were the Rockets, I would have just cut his ass right now. I mean, we had Josh Primo, right?
Yep.
This fucking guy said, like, they said that he tried, like, touching. What was the allegations? There was something that was later.
Like a therapist or something?
Yeah, so he pulled his dick out or something. And then it was later that was unfounded. All right, so this guy literally gets thrown off the Spurs right away, even before there was, like, an official investigation or anything like that. I mean, granted, you shouldn't be showing your dick to anybody, but if I had a huge penis, I probably would have been showing it a couple times too. But but now the Rockets, and the fact the Hornets didn't even get rid of Miles Bridges, like, you're not going to get rid of this guy. Why? Because he's a good player. But so your organization's okay with the fact that this guy allegedly beat the piss out of his wife or baby moms in front of kids? You're okay with that? I would be like, listen, asshole, you're cut. We'll pay you whatever we need to pay you. We just don't want you anywhere near this team because you're a scumbag.
Right.
I wouldn't pay you, but the only reason I have to pay you is because of your contract. But don't let that confuse the fact that I think that, that I'm doing it willingly, because I'm not. I think you're a piece of shit. So here's your money. Get the fuck out of here.
And the crazy thing to me is, after this news hit, I was looking at this Sixers group on Facebook, and some guy actually said, like, brought up a mock trade to trade for Kevin Porter Jr. And everyone in there was like, are you a fucking idiot?
Right.
Why would anyone want him on the team? And he goes, what about Miles Bridges? First off, they don't want him either. They, as in the fans and everything, don't want Miles Bridges either. The team apparently wants him for some reason. But
well, he's good.
Yeah, but we haven't seen him play basketball in over a year. We don't know what he's going to look like right now. We don't know what kind of athleticism he's going to have. We don't know if he's going to get hurt because he hasn't been playing. On top of that, he was on his rookie contract.
Days away from a big-time contract.
Exactly. Kevin Porter Jr. already signed an extension for 15 point whatever million a year for 3 years plus a team option. And the first year of that is this coming season. So you're potentially trading for a guy who we don't know if he is going to be suspended a year, 2 years, the rest of his career. And you're going to have to be on the hook for all that money just to get rid of a James Harden? I'd rather watch James Harden rot on the bench than trade for Kevin Porter Jr.
Well, this is where the NBA, though, needs to start coming in and saying there needs to be provisions in these guys' contracts that if you get charged and convicted of this type of stuff, you're not getting paid.
Exactly.
Like, it will pay you, but if you go out and you beat up a woman, and it's not only that, but if you're drinking and driving, because that's a thing, too, that drives me nuts, is these guys drinking and driving.
Oh, yeah. When the leagues give them car services, on top of the fact there's Uber, Lyft, whatever, like, and you get paid millions of dollars, you have absolutely no fucking reason to do it.
If you have $15 million a year, you're going to take about half of that, which is about $7 million. Then you might give maybe 5-10% to your agent. You're still going to be worth $4 or $5 million a year. You could still easily afford somebody to take you somewhere. But on top of that, Kevin Porter Jr. has a reputation of, though, just being a pain in the ass. All right. It's not like this is his first incident. And I'm combining internal incidents of conduct issues along with this. So this guy has a history, which is why he's in Houston now, because he has a history of just being an asshole. Great player, can play multiple positions, just as a scumbag, allegedly.
Exactly. Allegedly. But also, the whole reason he went from Cleveland to Houston was because of mental issues. Apparently, he freaked out at a teammate just because he was sitting at his locker or next to his locker or something.
I'd punch him right in his face.
Yeah,
skinny ass.
If he's already showing those signs of being a little off, he's probably going to continue that until he has a real consequence.
And I don't want to see this girl either come out and say that this never happened or any of that bullshit, because by doing that, you need to stick up for the women, and you need to let them know that this type of behavior is not acceptable. This isn't 1930.
Exactly.
All right, enough of this shit. Stop putting your hands on women. And the fact that this guy, he has a history of just being an asshole. But if you're making $15 million a year, what are you doing? Exactly. You should be like, you know what? I make $15 million a year. I got to be on my best behavior. Scumbag.
It's crazy to me that these athletes, celebrities, whoever, will just throw shit away for this kind of thing. When there's so many things, even say the girlfriend cheated on him, whatever. You're an NBA player. You could get any fucking girl you want.
Literally, you can get any chick you want.
Any girl you want.
I mean, he's a good-looking guy, too.
Exactly. And he's young. He's 24? 25?
He's a millionaire. He's a good-looking dude. He's probably got a huge dick. He's going to be fine.
Exactly.
You just threw it all away because you're a moron.
It just doesn't...
And it has nothing to do with the fact that he could get any chick. It's more, he's just an idiot.
Exactly.
I mean, we're just saying, he can get any woman he wants. So even if there was a situation to where they weren't getting along,
right,
then remove yourself from the situation. Don't be hitting people.
Exactly.
Strangling? What the fuck is wrong? Strangle? You're going to strangle her? Or fracture her back?
Which is insane. There has never been a time where... There's never been a time
it's
in
Kevin
my
Porter.
life... Exactly.
He tapped
where
him.
I have gotten mad enough where I'm like, I'm going to strangle this person or fracture their back.
Well, hey, yeah. Been a couple times.
I mean, maybe I wanted to punch somebody or something, but like you said, it was a understood thing.
I'm an advocate of violence. There's some things that need to be settled violently, as violent as possible.
Some of the best friendships have been, you got mad at each other, you fought it out, and then you became best friends.
Yep. Some people don't learn their lesson until you punch them in the face.
Exactly. And
because some people are that stupid that you need to give them a reality check, and the only way to do that, unfortunately, in some situations, is by punching them in the mouth.
And obviously, Kevin Porter Jr. needed the reality check because he's gone far too long without consequences.
Now, I'm not saying that for guys with women. I'm saying mutual combat.
Right. No, I know, but I'm just saying, like,
on the flip side, though, if she attacked him first and he punched her in the mouth, then you know what? Because some of these women,
all bets are off.
They hit hard.
They do.
So,
Davis says, "Hi, Dad."
Hi, baby. How are you?
With that being said, let's move on here to the
Not somebody who would be sleeping right now.
Let's move on to the Southeast Division preview because we can talk about Damian Lillard, which we were going to do in the Southeast Division preview. Let me bring up last year's standings like we've been doing here. So, last year.
Quality division.
Such a quality division. Miami in first at 44-38, and then it was Atlanta, Washington, Orlando, and then Charlotte. Miami and Atlanta, the only two making the playoffs. I mean, the division has gotten a little bit of a shake-up this offseason. You had people like John Collins get shipped away from Atlanta. You had Jordan Poole join Washington.
Who's going to be an all-star this year?
Oh, for sure. Beal and Porzingis both out of there. Orlando getting better with all of their younger talent. Franz and Banchero both looked very good in the World Cup. I thought they had some great moments. They both look like they've grown a lot from that experience, so that's only going to help Orlando in the long run. And then Charlotte, I mean, it's Charlotte. Hopefully LaMelo Ball can stay healthy. If he doesn't, they're going to stay right where they are. But what do you see with this division?
Well, for one, I think Miami making it all the way to the finals last year was a fluke. I don't think Miami was ever that good. I said it about a million times. Every episode I went back and listened to, and I said Miami, I just said they're not that good. And I believe that they're not that good. It's just the fact that all the teams that they played against weren't playing up to their potential. But the Miami Heat, they're not a good team. They're not going to – I don't think they're going to be a good team at all, even if they get Damian Lillard, because they're at the point now to where they've lost so much. I think I just had a seizure there. Did you see that? But they've lost so much that, you know, they're not a team that I could see doing anything. Are they a playoff team? Sure. As long as they have Jimmy Butler healthy and Bam. But other than that, they lost Max Strus, they lost Gabe Vincent. Those were two guys that were dependable that were playing for them. Now they added Thomas Bryant, which kind of addresses their I think that's going to make a big difference for them because they were very undersized.
Right.
On the flip side, I think Quinn Snyder going to Atlanta because Trae Young started playing much better when Quinn Snyder was around, and I think Quinn Snyder is going to take the Atlanta Hawks to a level to where they could be in at least a semifinal team this season.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at their roster, they have Bogdanovich. They have possibly the best backcourt in the NBA, and DeJounte Murray, who underperformed last year. Trae Young underperformed. His shooting percentages weren't that good. If you could get Trae Young at least to because I think last season he shot, 32% from three?
Yeah, around there.
If you get him to a 38, 39, 40% three-point shooter at least and keep his assist numbers up and you get DeJounte Murray back to the 2 steals a game guy that he was, and then everybody else kind of falls into place, that's going to be a team that just based off of those two guys being there, and then you add the depth to it, We're still waiting for Onyeka Okongwu's breakout. Who the hell knows what's gonna be going on with the rest of the roster? Bogdanovich, if he's got to stay healthy, but I could certainly see the Hawks having a pretty good season under Quinn Snyder, and then we still have Sadiq Bey, which was a good pickup from Detroit. DeAndre Hunter, he's still developing, but they got a good roster.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some promise there. You got, you got rid of Collins, who was just inconsistent for the money that you gave him. So you get that out of there. They still have the possibility to trade Clint Capella. I mean, they probably could get something decent back for him because that's a big man that a lot of teams could use too. So there's a lot of wiggle room still with the team on top of the fact that the roster they already have is solid. There's a couple. So David asked, why do you have your new Ranger shirt on when you have a Nets flag?
I'll tell you a simple reason. That's because it was the first shirt that was there, and the other shirt I was going to wear had an Italian ice stain on it from last night.
That makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Splosion here says, yeah, really looking forward to Barry Sanders.
I don't get it.
I don't either, but
Hey, Splosion.
Yeah, Splosion, welcome to the show, by the way. And Tyler says, Kai Jones situation. Have you seen all the stuff with Kai Jones from Charlotte?
I know who Kai Jones is, but I don't.
I thought you had a confused face. I wasn't sure which part.
No, you said, have you seen all the things with Kai Jones? I don't know what that means.
So Kai Jones is pretty much saying, like, he's guaranteed to, like, have a major role in the team, and he's going to help Charlotte be a much better team because he's so good of a player. And people were commenting saying, like, Mark Williams is going to be the center. Like, you're not even starting. And then he started, like, ripping into Mark Williams, saying, like, show me a time he's ever gone left and, like, dribble and taken a pull-up jumper, or, like, dribbled left and got to the hoop. Like, never. And he's just, like, ripping his teammates to try and make himself look better. So, essentially, he's just being the shittiest teammate out there.
Did he just say this recently?
Yes.
What, like today?
Actually, I think it was within the last couple days. 2 days ago.
It's Kai Jones.
Yeah. It was the...
I would just get rid of him.
A lot of fans thought he was either drunk or high when he was doing this. It was on
high.
like an Instagram live. And
he's probably hanging out with Montrezl Harrell.
And Kai Jones on Twitter said, I was not on drugs or intoxicated. I was enjoying my night in my crib. Y'all are bugging. So if he really was sober, that just makes it worse. I mean, because you're Kai Jones. Mark Williams is starting over you. Mark Williams showed enough to already have a starting role in there, and you're not starting over PJ Washington. Like,
I mean, it's Kai Jones. There's a reason
exactly.
I traded Kai Jones in our fantasy league.
Right. Nobody wants to have Kai Jones on a fantasy league. Tyler here says, I heard he might be the first NBA player to have CTE.
Well, he's got to play to have CTE, and he hasn't even played. He averaged, as a rookie, he averaged 3 minutes a game. Last season, he averaged 12 minutes a game. He averaged 3.4 points and 2.7 rebounds. Kai Jones, you bugging. Whatever that means.
Davis says, love you, by the way.
I love you too, baby.
And the wise words of Splosion. Well, the thing is, when you get enough
I like
players,
how he put, well, the thing is.
I know. Well, the thing is, when you get enough players, a team is formed. If that team is good, then they can win games. If they win enough games, they go to the playoffs. I mean, wise words. Wise words.
What? So I wonder what that was being said about what?
I'm not sure.
Maybe the division?
Maybe. But yeah, Kai Jones is just not. He's going.
He sucks.
At the very most, he's going to play the exact same role he's been playing, which is
He's an idiot.
essentially nothing.
Probably going to be less.
He's part of the reason why Charlotte sucks.
Well, I don't know about that.
He's part
There's a lot of
reason
reasons Charlotte sucks. I don't know if Kai Jones. Don't give Kai Jones that much credit.
Well, I mean, if you have to play Kai Jones, then your team probably sucks.
I mean, Kai Jones is still a good player. It goes back to what I was saying earlier about him being. He's playing in the league, so obviously he's talented.
I don't mean he actually sucks at basketball. Whenever
But
I say
at an NBA
player
level,
sucks,
he sucks.
Right. When I say an NBA player sucks, I mean in comparison to other NBA players.
Right.
I know he could kill me in basketball, and I hope he could. Because if he can't, then you should not be in the NBA.
I'm sure he could.
Exactly. But I'm just saying in comparison to other NBA players.
I love how we just spent 5 minutes talking about Kai Jones.
I did not think that's where this episode would go.
I mean, the clicks.
Kai Jones MVP season.
The clicks are going to be through the roof. Once we do hashtag Kai Jones.
Oh, yeah. Maybe Kai Jones is watching. I don't know.
He ain't fucking.
He seems to have time on his hands.
If you go to can we stop going on Instagram Live? You're a loser if you do that.
I don't understand the people.
I don't even know how to do that. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I mean, like, I know how to do it. However,
loser.
If I just don't understand the people that just go on Instagram Live and like put their phone down like while they're eating or just doing something and just talk. Like, what do you have to talk about? Like, why do you have to go on Instagram Live to talk to all these random people when you could just like text your friend or FaceTime your friend?
If you told me, if you said, Dennis, I want you to go on Instagram Live right within the next minute or the world is going to end, the world is blowing up. I have no idea how to do any of that stuff. Maybe it's because he's young, but it sounds like a complete waste of my time. I thought Instagram, honestly, I thought Instagram was just for ads for products that are fake and conspiracy theories and chicks with fat asses.
I mean, that's mostly what it's for.
I couldn't tell you anything else that Instagram has to offer. You want to sell me a nonstick pan? I might consider it. You want to show me a chick with a fat ass? I'm going to look at it.
The nonstick pan that I bought from Regis Philbin off of a commercial is one of the best ones I've ever had.
Reg sold I'm calling him Reg. Reg sold a pan?
Yeah, that thing was amazing.
Come on and buy my pan. That's my Regis impression.
It was.
I fucking love Regis. What a guy.
I know, right? I forget what the pan is actually called. I just googled Regis Philbin nonstick pan. I just got a bunch of nonstick.
Now that guy's an icon. Now I'd rather spend 5 minutes talking about Regis. Rest his soul.
Exactly. But anyway, yeah, Charlotte's still not gonna be good. Even if you get Miles Bridges back, even if you bring in some
Ball
of
has
the
to
rookies.
stay healthy.
Exactly. That's square one. That's the number one priority is keep LaMelo healthy.
I said it like a year or two ago. I said LaMelo Ball has the potential to be better than Luka, and I still believe that. He just has to stay healthy.
Agreed. Oh, by the way, I wanted to make this point back when we were talking about fantasy football, but when people, all sorts of fantasy football experts and everything were talking about drafting J.K. Dobbins. And for those who don't know, I'm a Ravens fan. I felt like you talking about Anthony Davis and Kawhi Leonard. Because I was like, why would you draft J.K. Dobbins? He's just going to get hurt again. He's been hurt every single year. He doesn't even play more than half the season. And he's just going to get hurt. That's what J.K. Dobbins does. And then what happens?
Now,
He's out for the season.
Let it be known, though, J.K. Dobbins, though, when that dude is healthy, that dude is a great fucking running back.
Agreed. And that's what hurts me is because as a Ravens fan, I'm like, I want you to be there to play, especially when it comes to the playoffs.
Hello, we play to win the game.
Exactly. And I know Tyler is feeling really bad because he is one of his keepers in the league that he's in with me was J.K. Dobbins. So
Poor Tyler.
I feel you, Tyler. However, that's why I have never drafted J.K. Dobbins any year for fantasy football.
J.K. Dobbins as a rookie, 134 touches, carries, 805 yards, 9 touchdowns, 6 yards per carry.
Oh, he's a stud.
That is a pretty. That's a pretty good resume right there.
Agreed. Completely agreed. The guy is talented, like no doubt about it.
And I remember this too. As a rookie, he finished out his season, and when we go into the playoffs, he scored a touchdown in 7 straight games as a rookie. 7
insane
in a row. It's
There's
absolutely crazy.
There was a time where I was like, he reminds me of the newer version of Ray Rice because Ray Rice with the Ravens was fucking unstoppable. But he just got hurt every time. And I'm just like, dude.
Happens.
Yeah. He's just the Kawhi Leonard of the NFL.
He's worse than that.
True. I mean, at least Kawhi is playing like 50-some games.
Right, at least you get a couple games out of him.
Tyler says he was about to have 3 touchdowns that game. He probably would have, to be honest. I mean, Justice Hill got the other 2, so probably would have had 3 touchdowns. But anyway, the way I see this division shaking out.
Oh, we're not wrapping up? I'm starving.
Well, we just didn't say how we thought the division was going to end.
Because we talked about Kai Jones the whole time.
So, I'm going to give you 2 predictions because it's based on Damian Lillard. However, Damian Lillard has said that he will go to training camp with any team now. It's not only Miami. Because if you really want to get out of Portland, you can't just say that shit about Miami. You can't. But
he still wants to go to Miami. He's just saying that.
Yeah, so he doesn't get in trouble. Pretty much. But if he does not go to Miami, I see Atlanta in first, Miami in second, Orlando in third, Washington in fourth, Charlotte fifth. If Lillard goes to Miami and they still retain Bam and Jimmy Butler, Miami in first, Atlanta in second, Orlando in third, Washington fourth, Charlotte fifth. And I think Orlando makes the playoffs as well.
I'm going to go Atlanta either scenario.
Okay.
And then I will go Miami. Barely.
Okay.
I still think I think Orlando's going to be better than Washington, but not by much. But I still think Washington's going to be better than people expect them to be. I think Kyle Kuzma is better than, and I think that when you have Jordan Poole and then Tyus Jones, I think that's a pretty damn good starting lineup.
Agreed. I mean, Washington will finally be fun to watch for me. I have never wanted to watch Washington for the last 5 years.
Well,
probably since John Wall was in his prime was the last time I thought Washington was fun to watch.
Well, they don't have Moron there anymore. I'm talking
exactly.
Moron is it Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
And I think Charlotte is. I mean, if you go up and you look at those other teams like Detroit, Indiana, scroll up a little bit there, honey. Can you do that?
Yep.
Yeah, Chicago. I mean, the Nets are going to be lucky. The Nets are going to be a play-in team. The Raptors probably ain't going to do anything. Detroit ain't going to do anything. The Bulls ain't going to do nothing.
Bulls are definitely falling.
But, so there's going to be some... I mean, that Southeast Division, I mean, every team could theoretically make a push at the postseason.
True. I mean, even the Sixers might fall depending on what happens with the whole James Harden trade. So...
I mean, we could solve this right now. Damian Lillard for James Harden. Boom.
I would be beyond excited.
You wouldn't even be able to get through a door. You would be so rock hard at that point.
I wouldn't. Yeah. So I will say I am pretty high on the Orlando Magic this year. I think Orlando's going to be good. I like Banchero. I like Wagner. I like Markelle Fultz.
I love Markelle Fultz. Markelle Fultz shows signs of life.
Exactly. He's been improving. He's been getting back to his ways. I love it. And I've been on here for a while saying I still believe in Markelle Fultz. And the fact that he is coming back and looking good and on both sides of the ball, I love it. I love it. Explosion here says Colin Kaepernick coming back to replace Rodgers. About time he comes back.
He ain't coming back.
I don't think it's going to be Kaepernick.
No, it's going to be Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Solid even said it.
There's a higher chance of Tom Brady coming back than Colin Kaepernick coming back.
And it's just because Colin Kaepernick's not that good. And why wouldn't it? Joe Flacco's has a better chance of going back to New York. I mean, why would you bring in?
True.
Why would you bring in Colin Kaepernick? For one, he doesn't know the offense. Two, he's like Zach Wilson. I think is time to give Zach Wilson a shot, because if he doesn't do anything, then you got to get rid of him.
True. I mean, that's a good point too. Tyler here says I'm gonna need another podcast where you guys talk about everything and anything.
I don't know if that's a good idea, Tyler.
I don't know. That podcast could get hairy pretty quick.
Yep. If only Tyler saw our conversation beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
Before we came on.
And Tyler says Wentz to the Jets.
Could happen.
I mean, that definitely could. I could see it. But that is it here for us. Unless you have anything else to get off your chest.
I'm starving.
And I just wanted to point out, by the way, the shirt. Do you know what show this is from?
SpongeBob.
No, but it is from. Do you remember Legends of
the Hidden Temple? Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the Blue Barracudas?
Yep.
No shit. I never even realized that until you just said something.
Just had to bring in a throwback. That's all.
Was it the green the Silver Monkeys?
Oh yeah, Silver Monkeys. Yeah. And there was the Purple Parrots.
And then the green
I don't remember what green was. It snakes? No. Green something. I don't know.
Who the fuck knows?
Exactly. But that's it here for us. Thank you, everybody, for listening to and watching another episode of the Atlantic Files.
Don't get caught by a temple guard.
Don't do it. The number one podcast on the number one division in the NBA. If you're watching here on YouTube, down below, hit the like, hit the bell for notifications. It lets you know when we go live. And subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed, because we're going live every week with every new episode, and we're cutting up some other videos. We have shorts and everything, so make sure you check all those out as well. We're also everywhere you get your podcasts: Spotify, Apple, Google, all those places. Make sure you rate and subscribe, rate and review on there too, because that helps us get out to everywhere. We're already in the top 100 in China for basketball. So, look, we're out here, people. We're out here.
China loves us. We love China. Exactly. China.
That is it for us, though. We will catch you guys next week. Peace.